Time now for the morning rush. The search is ramping up this morning for an inmate mistakenly released from jail. We now know hours after being released, deputies say he held up a business in the North Valley. They also say that 27-year-old Duwin Perez Cordova conspired with his cellmate to swap wristbands and pretend he was him. Jail officials say his cellmate claimed his wristband was missing hours later and said he should have been released. Now, deputies believe that Perez Cordova is still in the metro area. And the man expected to be sentenced next month for nearly killing a teen with a shovel is getting tighter release restrictions. Justin Hansen has been convicted for beating Brittany Marcel in her home almost 10 years ago. Now, after being spotted at an Isotopes game earlier this month, the state filed a motion asking a judge to tighten Hansen's conditions of release. The outing was approved by pretrial services. Now, for now, Judge Cindy Leos ordered that he can only take care of everyday necessities outside of the home, like grocery shopping. Well, APD's interim chief will have to go before the city council for approval before dropping the interim title. Interim chief Mike Geyer will stay on as Albuquerque's top cop, beating out 3 other finalists from Oklahoma, Seattle, and San Francisco. Mayor Tim Keller named him as interim chief after taking office last year. Kristen.
Looking at spotty to scattered storms over western and central New Mexico today, not likely to be severe, but we'll have to keep an eye on the gusty winds kicked out from those storms as well as the lightning. More storms and showers expected over the western 2/3 of the state Friday night into Saturday. Those will likely be statewide. David?
Fire officials say because of challenges with the weather, a new pre-evacuation order is being issued for the 416 fire. That pre-evacuation order is issued for 163 homes and 2 businesses west of Highway 550. This is near Trimble Lane. And while the fire continues to grow, firefighters say because they were able to secure a strong fire line along Highway 550, that the La Plata County allowed some residents from the Tamarron, Glacier Club, and Rockwood subdivisions to return home. There are still more than 1,000 homes under evacuation. And today a public meeting is scheduled for the Burro fire that's burning near the 416 fire. This is all taking place at the Dolores Community Center. This morning that fire is still 0% contained and it's burned almost 2,900 acres. The cause of both fires are still under investigation. And of course, we will continue tracking the very latest on both of these fires. You can find up-to-date information on everything from firefighting to evacuations on air and on the KRQE News app. Well, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in Asia today trying to lay the framework of a plan to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. While in Seoul, South Korea, Secretary Pompeo declared there would be no sanctions relief for North Korea until the country gives up its weapons. Just this week, President Trump reached a reportedly vague agreement with Kim Jong-un to do just that. Well, a new agreement between the city and Topgolf is expected to go before City Council on Monday. The Albuquerque Development Recommission previously told Topgolf to prove that it will bring in revenue to the city along with mid to high paying jobs in exchange for financial incentives. Topgolf reps introduced the new agreement. It includes creating at least 111 new jobs and penalties if Topgolf fails to meet its promises. Now, the city's Economic Development Department says it likes the new agreement. Well, many children in our community may be living under the care of their grandparents. Happening today, a free legal clinic is looking to help those families. Now, the clinic will give them information about how they can gain legal rights to make decisions for that child, whether that may be filling out a caregiver affidavit or a power of attorney or potentially pursuing guardianship for these children. Now, the clinic runs from 1 to 3 today at the Los Padillas Community Center. Well, looking ahead, you may want to avoid the MVD tomorrow and Saturday. This is all due to system updates. Commercial driver's licenses cannot be issued at any locations on Friday, and all credentials cannot be issued on Saturday. The vehicle transactions are not affected by these updates. Well, a baby bear found wandering in the metro is being released back into the wild. This 200-pound, 4-year-old black bear was seen walking around local neighborhoods since Tuesday night. Game and Fish Rangers say he was spotted going through trash and napping up in a tree near Eubank and I-40. Officials then tranquilized and tagged the bear before taking him back to the wild. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index out of 5. We've got some spot storm chances here in the metro today. Gusty winds and lightning out of those storms. Hot temperatures still in the low 90s and breezy conditions at times. A lot of that fueled by those storms. David?
Well, you can help a local nonprofit working to transform an old hair salon into a safe place for victims of sex trafficking here in Albuquerque. Street Safe New Mexico is planning to transform its salon on Central in Wyoming into a resource center and safe haven called The Salon. The hair dryers currently in the salon will be replaced with computers. They will be able to search for jobs, housing, and a way out of the life that they are living. We posted a link to donate at alwaysonkRQE.com. Los Alamos National Lab says it now has the ability to disable drones flying over its restricted airspace. The Los Alamos Monitor reports that officials say they have the ability to disrupt and seize control of a drone or use force to take it down. The lab worked with the NNSA and the FAA to put the system into place. The officials say that they're now testing the new system and it could serve as a model for other federal facilities. Kristen?
Time now for a check on traffic as we take a look at the map out there. No major concerns. Interstates look pretty good. We also have News Tracker out and about this morning. Headed south on Coors just past the on-ramp to I-40. That actually looks pretty good too at the hour. We'll keep eyes on that throughout the day.
And happening today, the annual congressional baseball game takes place tonight at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. House Majority Whip Steve Scalise will be back on the baseball field. It's been 1 year since he was gravely wounded during a congressional team practice for that game.
6:53 on your Thursday morning, looking at high temperatures in the low 90s today, mostly to partly sunny with a spot storm in the mix, and really those storm chances will favor western and central New Mexico today. Gusty winds, lightning, and rainfall expected out of those storms. Very similar conditions tomorrow, and then we get what's left of Tropical Storm Bud, but it's going to bring in enough moisture to spread out those rain chances statewide starting late Friday into Saturday. So heads up, rain chances looking better and better into the weekend. As far as what's going on with the allergy report for today, we've got pine up to medium, everything else down to low. I'm hoping the rain we have on the way for the next coming days will keep the pollen count low as we get into the weekend too. Time now for the 5 facts. We will start with number 5. The Isotopes back in town, starting their 7-game homestand with a 3-game series against Memphis. It wasn't that good of a start, though, with the Topes losing 11-0. Game 2 is this evening, 6:35 first pitch.
At number 4, the city is likely looking into 2 crashes involving city employees. This morning, we are learning that the crashes are more common than you might think, and the cost is adding up. On Tuesday, an APD cruiser was involved in a crash at an intersection. Then yesterday morning, a Sun van crashed into another car head-on. Now, risk management records show that the city pays out about $2.5 million in auto claims each year. The city insures itself, so the money to replenish those payouts comes from their yearly budget.
At number 3, temperatures dropping to the 80s this weekend. Our best day for widespread rain and thunderstorms looks to be Saturday, taking a brief break Sunday into Monday. Likely to see another push of moisture Tuesday, Wednesday, and that will keep the rain chances around.
At number 2, the new agreement between the city and Topgolf is expected to go before City Council on Monday. The Albuquerque Development Commission previously told Topgolf to prove that it will bring in revenue to the city, along with mid to high paying jobs in exchange for financial incentives. Now, Topgolf reps introduced the new agreement, and it includes creating at least 111 new jobs and penalties if Topgolf fails to meet its promises. The city's Economic Development Department says that it likes the new agreement. And at number 1, fire officials say because of the challenges with the weather, a new pre-evacuation order is being issued. Now, this comes as families previously under evacuation are waking up in their own beds for the first time in days. Now, that pre-evacuation order is issued for 163 homes and 2 businesses west of Highway 550 near Trimble Lane. And while the fire continues to grow, firefighters say that because they were able to get such a strong fire line along Highway 550, La Plata County has allowed some residents from the Tamarron, Glacier Club, and Rockwood subdivisions to return home. And meanwhile, there are still more than 1,000 homes under evacuation. Fire officials say the goal is to get people back home, but then again, things change every day.